Veterinarians are faced with difficult choices every day when it comes to euthanizing animals. However, when the owners of this dog asked that he be put to sleep, it must have raised a few eyebrows. After all, the only reason the owners gave was that the dog was yucky. When a dog called Nick Nack came through the South African veterinary doors in early 2016, the receptionist was disgusted. But it wasn't because of the dog. No, the problem was the owner's attitudes. The dog, estimated to be around 7 years old, was clearly ill, but his owners didn't seem concerned for his welfare. No, the owners were there to have the dog put down. In fact, according to the animal rescue website Sidewalk Specials, the owners were angry that their dog got sick. "He's yucky. Put him to sleep," Nick Nack's humans reportedly told veterinary staff. Unfortunately, Nick Nack was already showing obvious signs of neglect. Indeed, the poor dog had contracted both illness and injury, and the owners seemed to have done nothing to prevent it. Nick Nack even had a broken leg, potentially a sign of physical abuse. It was definitely neglectful of the owner not to get it fixed. Yet it wasn't the only indication of the dog's ill treatment. Based on his malnutrition, he was clearly underfed too. But perhaps the most obvious sign of Nick Nack's suffering was his skin condition. He had a suspected case of mange. Sadly, it was this condition that led his owner to label him as too yucky to live. Sidewalk Specials even affectionately described the poor little dog as crispy. That is to say that his face was covered in scabs. But unaware of the reason for Nick Nack's condition, his owners thought the dog might contaminate his fur baby siblings. So instead of asking for medical advice or assistance, the owners wanted the dog dead. Of course, this wasn't a reason the receptionist could accept. In fact, the receptionist shouted at the suffering dog's owners, but they had already made up their minds. Indeed, they left him in his cage at the clinic with no choice other than to accept his fate. Or at least that's how it seemed. But fate was smiling on Nick Nack that day. For once, being overlooked was a good thing for the crispy canine. When the secretary who stuck up for Nick Nack was leaving work for the day, to her surprise, she saw that the dog was still in his cage. It seemed that the busy vet had forgotten all about the euthanasia. But not everyone was willing to see little Nick Nack put to sleep. The secretary proved to be the dog's first guardian angel. After all, she contacted Sidewalk Specials, a network of animal rescuers, to save him. The group's founder, Rachel Sylvester, answered the call. Sylvester was in the United Kingdom when the worried secretary contacted her, but despite not even being in the same country as the poor pooch, Sylvester was determined to help. Hence, she became Nick Nack's second guardian angel and appealed to the animal-loving online community. Soon, word spread about the dog's dreadful treatment. And so instead of having no one to care for him, Nick Nack suddenly had several offers from people, each one happy to give him a home. Luckily, their intervention saved his life. For that reason, crispy Nick Nack was spared the needle. It was an amazing relief. An overjoyed Sylvester told News 24 in January 2015. "Usually I would take the dog and oversee that it is placed in a safe forever or foster home," she explained to the news channel. "But even though I was out of the country, our network stepped in and people were offering to help within seconds," Sylvester explained. Consequently, Nick Nack met his third guardian angel, Camilla Nurak, a Cape Town local and TV producer. She volunteered to foster Nick Nack for a week while he healed. Indeed, she saw the urgency of Nick Nack's situation and couldn't resist stepping in to help. So after a bath from the big-hearted receptionist who had helped save his life, Nick Nack was picked up by his new foster human. "When I collected him, he was in such a bad way," Nurak explained. Nurak added, "He was very malnourished and he had been through a lot." Considering his condition, Nick Nack was taken to Sea Point vet Dr. Rena Cotton, who diagnosed the crispy cutie with severe malnutrition. She also identified his skin condition as a tick and flea allergy, not mange as was first thought. After some love and care, Nick Nack began to recover, but by then Nurak had already fallen in love with him. "I had been looking for a rescue dog for a while," she said, "but someone told me, you don't choose the dog chooses you." In the end, Nurak couldn't bear to let Nick Nack go, and his foster home became his forever home. His adopted mommy also gave him a new name to represent his fresh lease on life. Hence, Nick Nack is now called Newman, named for Jerry Seinfeld's rival in the sitcom Seinfeld. But he is no one's enemy and he is fitting in quite nicely. Nurok told News 24. Newman is very chilled and relaxed. He is so cute and his personality has started coming out. However, it wasn't just viral fame that Newman achieved. He has become a celebrity here, his mommy said. Newman has since settled down in his new home and is enjoying life in a caring environment. His story shows that you can indeed teach an old dog new tricks. Even when it seems like no one cares, there is always someone out there who will love you just the way you are.